Today is December 3rd, 2016. Welcome to our fourth video of Star Wars Land updates. If you look behind me, you can see that they finished constructing the outside of the behind the scenes building.
I'll go ahead and zoom in so we can see it better. And to the left of the building, they removed most of the dirt pile. The dirt that used to be stored at this area is now spread throughout the rest of the construction area. Here we can see the new berm that has been made between the retaining wall, located on the left of the picture, and the back end of the rock wall. And if we slide to the right, we can see the dirt that has been added between the two tunnel entrances. And this is what it looked like back in September. We can see the support walls to hold the dirt in place. Now I'll dissolve the picture back to what it looks like today. And this dirt between the two tunnels is necessary to make the ground level high enough to allow the train to travel from the top of one tunnel to the next. Now notice the wall that they're making at the top middle of the tunnel entrance. This wall will eventually be connected to the wall on the left. And this wall will act as a dividing wall between the train and the perimeter of Star Wars Land. Next, let's look over towards Tom Sawyer Island. Many of the trees that were in place to block the view from New Orleans is now being replanted on the island. We now once again have a great view of the entrance to Pirates of the Caribbean. Also from this perspective, we have a great view of the sails that are on top of a New Orleans building. Now we're taking a ride on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Notice that a layer has been added to the wall next to the tunnel entrance. Also, there's scaffolding around the train tunnel entrance, and there's more detail on the rock wall as well. We're on Gadget's Go Coaster to see the developments of the train tunnel from this perspective. Horizontal beams have been added to the top of the tunnel. Today is December 13th, 2016, and a lot of activities happening today. Here, a couple of workers are getting a concrete form ready to be put in position. They're chipping off some concrete that was left over from a previous time. Now the form is being lifted. Next, it's being lowered into place. They're building another wall for the Battle Escape Show building. I'll zoom in so we can see it better. The workers are putting in some rebar. The construction worker on the left is putting in some vertical rebar. Now he's using a tie wire to attach the vertical rebar to the horizontal rebar. Looking at the hole, or I guess now we can start calling it the basement of the show building, it looks like they added concrete to the bottom half of the wall. It looks like dirt has been added where the green telehandler is located. This is what it looked like back in November. Notice that the dirt has been cleared out right up against the sidewall of the basement. Due to work being done in close proximity to the sidewall that puts stress against the sidewall, horizontal beam bracing is necessary. And this horizontal beam bracing was used to counteract the stress being put on the wall until the dirt has been replaced and compacted against the outer part of the sidewall. Today at this moment, it looks like the workers are getting ready to remove the temporary horizontal beams. A worker is hooking a lifting belt to one of the horizontal beams. Next, the slack of the belt is being tightened. Notice that there's a worker located on either side of the beam. Now the workers are using a torch to cut the beam. They're adding water to the molten metal to make it brittle, prone to cracking and fracturing, to help remove the beam from position. Here it goes, the beam is being lifted. They're now removing the beam away from the basement. Over at the cap of the island, they're putting color to the rock formations. If we look to the right of these rock formations, it looks like they're building framework for something. The dirt between the two tunnel entrances is increasing in height. There's a wheel loader bringing in some dirt. Notice that after the wheel loader delivers the pile of dirt, a crawler dozer distributes the dirt evenly over a certain area. Next, a padded drum compactor is used to compact the dirt. This will help increase dirt stability. Here at the perimeter of Rivers of America, dirt has been added between the two layers of walls. Notice on top of the mesh forms, a worker is ready to weld forms together. We'll go into Disneyland next and look on the other side of these rock forms. Alright, here we are in Critter Country, and the workers are continuing to weld the forms together. Over here, workers are putting metal beams together and welding them together. Now we're on Big Thunder Trail. And on the other side of the fence, a worker is digging where it looks like the side of the trail is going to be. And behind him are workers putting a coating on the rock formations. Now if we drift our attention over in this direction, we can see a Walt Disney Imagineer doing detail work on the wall. Notice that the hard hat has a Sorcerer Mickey on the side. And the vest of the Imagineer says Walt Disney Imagineering. Here the Imagineer is putting fine detail to the coating of the wood planks. Look closely to the coating on the side of the wood plank. It is flat and it has no texture. Let's watch the Imagineer add detail to it. It is really looking great. Now the Imagineer is shaping the end of the wood plank. Next, the Imagineer is adding a crack in a wood plank. Today is December 18th, 2016. Notice that the sidewall of the Battle Escape basement is being extended out. And over on this side, there's a pile of wood. These will more than likely be used to create concrete forms. They finished connecting the two walls together. And if you look closely, you can see the concrete forms that are still in position on the opposite side of the wall. Peeking over the fence in Critter Country, it looks like one of the sidewalls for the tunnel entrance has been made. And the train will travel above this wall. Looking down, there's standing water left over from a previous rainstorm. And we can see the reflection of the mesh forms in the water. Once again, we're on Big Thunder Trail. We'll go ahead and see what has changed on the other side of the fence. From here, we can see that the shed has a weather-resistant barrier on it. This will help eliminate moisture-related problems in the future, such as mold and mildew. Next, we'll ride Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Looking out of the cavern, we can see that color has been added to the cap of the island. Today is December 28th, 2016, and if you look behind me, we can see that concrete has been added to the far sidewall for the Battle Escape show building. Now if we look at the right side of the show building's basement, they're extending the basement's wall outward. Notice that a lot of rebar has been installed, and a concrete form is being lowered into position to create a new sidewall. The show building sidewall that's closest to us is really coming along as well. The concrete structure to the right of the Phantasmic Storage Building has a new wall. And next to the structure, metal framework has been assembled for future rock work. Now if we focus our attention over at the perimeter wall of Rivers of America, workers are adding mesh forms to Area 28. Notice that the construction worker is putting the end of the form over a beam. Now he's fastening it on. And finally, he's welding it to the beam. Here a couple of workers are putting on a top piece to a rock formation. Now the worker is welding it to the beam. Next, they're welding it to an adjacent mesh form. As they continue to attach this form, another form is being lifted to the site. It's looking great. It's really coming along. Alright, over here at the metal framework, a worker is welding the beams together. A green trench compactor roller is being brought in, which is used to help compact the dirt. Notice that it's being moved by wireless radio control.
It looks like a droid from Star Wars.
Now we're located on the street level. From this perspective, we can see that trees have been added close to the fence. And here's our droid friend resting next to a curb. Also from this perspective, we have a good view of the wall development for the show building. Today is New Year's Eve, and we'll go ahead and ride Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Notice that there's scaffolding on the newly created wall. More than likely, they're setting up to create rockwork on the wall. We'll go on Gadget Go Coaster next to see the development on top of the train tunnel. Alright, here we are, and we'll look behind us. As we can see, concrete has been added to the top of the tunnel. And to the right of the tunnel, a lot of dirt has been added. The old train tunnel is now completely covered with dirt. If we zoom out a little bit, the train tunnel exit can be seen. It is really coming along. Well, that's a taste of things to come.
We can't wait to see what they build next.